Today we're going to be benchmarking two of the most hated GPUs on the market.
And we're going to see which one is actually a better value versus the other, and maybe we'll learn that one of them isn't as bad as we thought it was. Let's talk about that after a word from today's sponsor.
Today's video is brought to you by Fantic and their S1 Pro. This screwdriver is everything you need in one kit, and it is literally one kit, 16 in one. You get a powerful 2000 milliamp battery inside of a portable screwdriver that can put out 6 Newton meters of torque, making those pesky flat pack builds from IKEA super quick and efficient. And this screwdriver even has an LED light built in for those spots where you need a little more visibility. So whether you're a full-time repair person or just a hobbyist working around your house, the Fantic S1 is definitely a go-to screwdriver. There really isn't a job too small or too big for it. This kit includes 16 bits that are coated S2 hardened steel, and they're extended bits for those hard to reach places. And one of my favorite parts definitely has to be this aluminum alloy case, which is an all-in-one carrying case, so that then you can actually put the screwdriver in your pocket and take it on the go. So you guys make sure you use the link down below to save up to 46%. Use code TOASTYS1 at checkout and you can save up to 46%. Make sure you use that link. So thanks to Fantic for sponsoring today's video. Let's go ahead and get back into it. So we have two GPUs before us that you can buy brand new. We have the RTX 5050 and the RTX 3050 6GB.
Now the RTX 3050 6GB is a graphics card that the Toasty Bros stand by. I feel like we're the only ones nowadays. We're just at war standing in front of the 3050 6GB while you all are just shooting missiles at it. We're defending it because there are some use cases that make sense for it, but at $179, is it actually good value for the money? Well, we thought the best way to test it is against the card that everyone else seems to hate, the RTX 5050 that was just released. The 5050 has 8 gigs of VRAM versus 6 gigs of VRAM with the 3050 6GB. But before we dive into talking about the RTX 5050, let's learn more about the 3050 6GB with the key specs you should know. So the RTX 3050 6GB was released on February 2nd of 2024 with a launch price of $179. So it's the same price from when it launched. Interesting, I didn't know that. It is a PCI 4.0 by 8 graphics card. It has 6 gigs of GDDR6 VRAM and a TDP of 70 watts with a suggested power supply of 250 watts. And our specific model is the Ventus 2 Fan, which comes with 2 HDMI and 1 DisplayPort. Now the cool thing about the 3050 6GB and why we give it a lot of credit is it does not require any external power. So it makes a lot of sense for upgrading those older office PCs that don't have power supplies to give you a 6 and 8 pin power connector. But besides that, it is the cheapest new graphics card you can buy from Nvidia, and we do think it has a place in the market. But how does it compare versus the 5050 8GB? Let's talk about the specs of that graphics card.
Now the specs of the RTX 5050. This card was released July 1st of 2025. Now the 5050 had a launch price of $249, which is about the price that it has been since it launched. It has a PCIe 5x8 interface. Now this card has 8 gigs of GDDR6 VRAM, so 2 more gigs of VRAM, and interestingly enough, if you get the laptop version, it has GDDR7. Now I will say, this card does use 130 watts compared to the 70 watts, so it is almost double the wattage, so will it be double the FPS? I don't know. Now to go over the ports in our specific model, this is a Gigabyte Gaming OC, so it's a pretty nice big 3-fan card, kind of overkill for a 5050, but we have 2 HDMI and 2 display ports, so 4 display outs, and it's a dual slot card.
Now to benchmark these two cards, we're going to throw them on our budget open air test bench with their Ryzen 5 9600X, a B850 motherboard, 32 gigs of RAM, and that's pretty much all you really need to know. It's a budget open air test system that allows us to test these GPUs with a more reasonable CPU versus our 9800X 3D CPU, which we normally use for higher end GPU testing. And we're just going to play some games live, what we like to call let's play benchmarks. We just game, show you guys some FPS while we're gaming, and then we'll transition to some side-by-side benchmarks that'll be a bit more technical, so then we can determine the price to performance of both GPUs and which one you're getting the more FPS for your dollar.
Alright guys, we are in Call of Duty Warzone on the RTX 3050 6GB, and we're currently running balanced preset with no upscaling, and yeah, the balanced preset, max FOV, that's really it. We're not going to change anything else, at least not for now. We're going to go control center both of these drops.
Yep, keep it consistent with the benchmarks we are running, as we mentioned at the start of this video. We're going to focus more on esports titles with a couple higher end games, because if you're spending $200 or less on a GPU, well, the 5050, $250 or less, you're mainly playing esports free-to-play games. That's kind of the genre we're looking at here, so we're just going to show you guys what these can do. As always, we will show you guys what settings we personally would run once we run it for a little bit on these like standardized settings without any upscaling.
Yeah, because I can already tell you with this GPU, especially in this game, like I'd try to get a little more than this probably.
Yeah, because we're getting dips in the 50s, but on average around 60 FPS on balanced settings, and you always have the minimal options as well if you want to stay all natty, but I would say DLSS, which you do have access to, would be a good idea.
And we are doing this test, you know, with our 9600X, which obviously is probably a little bit higher end than most people would end up going with.
Oh, almost lasered.
We cook, and we throw.
But it definitely is a little more realistic. Wow.
Got it. Wow, he
That's
jumped into
crazy. It is a little bit, I say a little bit, it's a lot more realistic than a 9800X 3D. So we want to keep things much more closer to the mid-range of the budget. Maybe someone's getting this as a temporary GPU that they want to upgrade later on or something like that. Oh, you got.
Yeah, and what I think is funny is, you know, and we talk about this like every morning on stream because it's like, oh, anything with anything with 8 gigs, even a lot of people are like, you should be throwaway card. Here we are with 6, playing native 1080p. We're getting 60 FPS on Warzone. I get that it's not competitive, but like, guys,
you can play it.
Yeah, it's not like it's just a display out. And real quick, what we're gonna do now that we've gotten this controlled, we're gonna go DLSS balanced.
You can run FSR frame gen. You could try it.
See what happens. All right, so we're gonna actually try doing balanced, probably gonna break everything, balanced DLSS with frame gen.
Oh, and he's cooking. Yeah, I mean, look at the FPS now. We're at 100 plus FPS.
Yeah, and I need to play a little more, but I don't feel anything super weird so far. Like all my controls feel pretty much on. I will say the quality kind of lowered a little bit. I'm getting like the Vaseline effect a little bit.
Some of the excessive Vaseline effect could definitely be the frame gen. And if you're just running normal DLSS at 1080p, you're still gonna see it. But it probably won't be as
the
bad.
DLSS. I can't hit
It's
my
the
shots
frame
now.
gen. He can't hit him.
The sniper just zooms in really slow.
Well, what are they doing? I was gonna say.
This is one of those mixed lobbies where it's like,
It's no ammo. Yeah. It is important to know too, we mentioned the CPU. That CPU usage, once we turn on DLSS and frame gen, went up from 40 to about 60%. So we are using more CPU, which means your mileage may vary on how much you'll improve from DLSS and frame gen, depending on what CPU you do pair with these graphics cards.
yeah, I gotta say, I think if I was running this, I probably wouldn't run the frame gen.
Yeah.
Should probably get us a little bit less FPS. Maybe I'll try that.
Yeah, try
Because
it
I'm
out.
curious. I feel like I am getting a little bit of kind of weirdness just with it being as low end as it is. All right, I'm turning frame gen off. And it's
McAllister, another
probably gonna
resync
break the
probably.
recording again. Sorry, McAllister, it's the last time, I swear.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely a little less. But
Yeah, a little less, but like this is like what I expect though. This feels more natty. I feel like the frame gen felt a little freaky.
We get those.
I get shot by somewhere else.
Dark Joey.
Oh,
Got him.
I think there's a guy behind me.
We hit those.
We hit those.
We hit
We hit
those.
Oh,
Ah!
oh, this is definitely a bot.
Wow.
Oh, that guy's tried to punch me, and he almost won.
You know something freaky about this model? It pulls 68 watts.
Oh yeah. Well, that's about right, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Because it's supposed to be 75 or less.
Yes.
For it to not use external power. Which, hey, that is one thing. I'm sure we'll talk about that. But 3056 gig is the one card that does not need external power. Does that matter for most people? No.
No.
But does it matter for YouTubers like us?
Yes.
We're trying to use budget builds.
For our
Yeah.
office PCs, hell yeah. Wow.
Oh. It's a good thing you did that little weird double jump.
It's like, what was it? Oh
Yeah.
my God.
All right, we're
You
back.
owned Corgi. Oh.
Dude, we're just kind of hitting them today, aren't we? Oh. I spoke too soon. My tracking!
Oh.
My leg! Far away from me, boy.
11 teams or
This really is the casual.
the casual?
Oh, that's a
Real player
I
actually
found the real
smoked
player.
you.
All right, well, I think that's plenty of Warzone. I was kind of just going until I died, and I just wasn't dying, but 3056 gig, it plays Warzone. There's some AAA titles it's obviously not going to play, but now let's test it out on the new variant, the RTX 5050. All right, we're in Call of Duty again. So we're running some of that same Warzone. We're gonna drop in the same spot like we always do, and we're running balanced 1080p again. No upscaling to start. And as you guys can see, I mean, so far, this is already looking a lot better.
Just a reminder for us, since it's actually been a day, we were getting about 55 to 60 FPS on native settings before.
So this is some crazy improvements.
Yes.
I mean, whether you're like a hater or a lover or kind of neutral on these cards, I mean, one thing we can definitely agree on, which, you know, I know we talked about in the intro, once we film that. This isn't like an apples to apples comparison because we are comparing technically like the 6 gig to the 8 gig, and this is kind of more the predecessor to like the 3050 8 gig.
Yeah,
I guess even 4050.
Yeah. I mean, 4050 level is laptop only, but yeah, this video definitely just shows you two cards that people hate, which seems equally, but I feel like the 5050 in this regard really is showing how well the performance is in comparison to the other card, the 3056 gig. But if there's just a price drop on the 5050, man, that card has a lot of potential.
It's got potential. And it's, I mean, because it's not bad. Like, I'm playing native Warzone right now at 1080p, and I'm getting high refresh rate, just about.
Yeah, and before we ran with upscaling. With upscaling too, just keep it consistent, because with upscaling before we were getting 120 FPS with frame gen, but without frame gen we're getting like 80 to 90, and we're even exceeding it natively. So we do have a lot of room to work with.
I don't know how to punch.
Ooh,
I'm
he
literally
extra
out of
ammo.
ammo for everything. Yeah, no, this is definitely, I mean, this makes the 5050 look a lot better than it has when we've tested it.
It's all about putting it next to something that makes it look better, am I right?
Yeah.
But no, it's still the thing, if you haven't seen our video, by the way, we did a 5050 versus 5060 video, and that just shows also how much better the 5060 is, because the gap between those two was actually like, whoa, for the price point.
Yeah, and we gotta remember too, like, it's all about price expectancy too. I mean, we are talking about the cheapest new cards in the market.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't be expecting 90, 60 XT level performance. You shouldn't be expecting, 50, 60 level performance. But playable. I mean, both of them so far have been playable. I will say Warzone, 3050 is borderline playable. Dang it.
God dang
Speaking
it.
of playable, I think now that I've died, I want to try doing a little bit of help here.
We did DLSS balanced last time.
Oh my gosh. All right, we'll do balanced again, which this one does have the option of FSR.
We turn on frame gen to start, if you want to try it, yes.
Oh, we can do DLSS frame gen. Let's do that.
Let's do that.
Since it's actually right for the card.
Resync.
And honestly, this time I might not even turn it off. If it
Last time it felt weird.
It felt a little weird.
Oh, here, oh yeah,
All
look
right,
at
pressing
that.
escape, McAllister falling in.
Look at those FPS numbers.
Yeah, so we've gone from about 130 to like, 200 plus. We'll see if it's consistent. We'll try to get another kill here. I mean, this looks good, and it feels good too. I feel like the 3050 we might have had a little bit of some weirdness, like input lag and stuff, but I'm not feeling anything with this.
You do get DLSS 4 with the 5050, which is an improvement on DLSS. So again, love or hate the feature set, the 5050 has that feature set. So it really just comes down, yeah, I don't have to use them, but it does help, the lack of them, well, considering Nvidia's kind of kept these to just 40 and 50 series GPUs, can be a little annoying, but if you do go on these GPUs at a decent price, hopefully throughout the year it does go down in price. I think it has potential to be a really good budget card. It just needs a little adjustment.
We need a sniper to really test it out, because that's where I really felt like I felt it was zooming in. Oh. Dude, what is this sniper? Freaking like iron sight. There's a guy on my... He's right here.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Get those? Oh! Oh!
Oh, why did I try to hit that guy, not the guy that was sitting still? Oh, I'm missing.
Yeah! It's frame gen.
It's frame gen.
It's frame gen.
Oh.
Oh wow, that's a real.
That
game
guy was
right
real.
there.
Well, I felt pretty
test.
good. I think that was a good test. Hey, I will say the 3050 run went a lot better. But no, both of them playable, but the 5050, immensely more performance with and without any type of frame gen or upscaling.
Next game we're gonna play is Fortnite. We'll see if there's a difference between those two and a more esports title. All right, guys, we're in Fortnite, DX12, far view distance, low textures. Here it is, baby. And I'm in a different mode called Blitz, which I guess is faster Fortnite. So again, this map is a little bit smaller, so the FPS might be a little bit different, but I'll be honest, again, with this game, and we always talk about Fortnite, it's a much more CPU-bound game, but the GPU does make a difference. And as you can see, our GPU usage is actually quite high, so.
Plus, we're mainly looking for comparison here. Both
Yes.
GPUs will be on the same map.
So that don't really matter all too much.
Luckily, it's easy to land in the same spot in this mode. There's only like 4 destinations. That guy was
Adam
real.
Gamer.
Yeah, so each person / squad will spawn in with like a different perk. It looks like you're just like going invisible or something.
Apparently, Invisible Peter. But one thing to mention on DX12 right now, and I'm looking at the usage, our GPU is maxed out. So whatever settings we're running, we're at 99% usage, getting about 200 FPS, a few dips here and there. So, hey, it's running smooth. It's couple hundred plus FPS, but I'd be curious to see if the 5050 is any different.
I will say it could just be the map, but like I've noticed there's like almost no like rendering and stutters like we normally
No,
get.
it's just
been smooth.
Smooth the entire time, so shout out.
And can you believe you're playing a game on this e-waste card?
This is e-waste. That auto.
Oh yeah, when you aim with those pistols.
Yo! That is.
Or it's aim and jump. Aim and jump, yeah. And I think you can hold it.
Dude, Peter looks insane, bro.
Yeah, I had someone land on me to do that, and I died. And I was like, what happened? We get another one.
Yo!
We got a runner. Ooh, we couldn't get away.
Yeah, you guys are probably seeing it a little bit better than me. Oh, I gotta move. The average FPS we're getting, but for the most part, it seems like we're right below 200, but hitting 200 at times. So keep that in mind when we switch to the 5050. Again, maybe not a major difference, and also at this FPS, the money we're paying for this graphics card I think is more than acceptable. You're more worried about what CPU you're gonna get to actually get much higher highs, but considering the GPU is pretty much maxed out, we are getting the most out of this card.
Yep, and it still is pretty much the cheapest, newest card that you can get that makes sense. Oh, we got another invisible. Oh, he's real. He's real.
Oh!
I think you guys can't see each other.
Reload, Peter!
Like you guys are both reloading. Oh, goodness.
Oh, goodness.
I'm getting nervy. Bubble Shield Jr. Oh, he's in there with you.
No! Butter Kid!
Ooh. Yeah, I think that's some damage.
Oh, now you're...
Good range, good range.
Oh!
We won.
Wow,
New
quick.
mode cracked, I'm saying.
Blitz mode. We zoom, we get dubs, we win. About 200 FPS average, slightly below it. Let's see what the 5050 can do. Okay, guys, I'm dropping in Fortnite with the 5050 now, baby. It's Blitz Royale time, and I'm gonna go crazy. Now, last time we were getting about 180 to 200 FPS, which I will say our CPU is pinged at 100% right now, so I think we're kind of loading stuff in, so we'll give it a minute to fully settle out here, but...
Because the 3050 before was at 100%.
Yeah, yeah, and our GPU is not maxed out at the moment, so might be loading in some shader action. We'll see if that changes. Do I just always get the invisible one?
You shouldn't. It should change. You just got lucky. Oh, he's invisible too. The invisible one's kind of busted.
It is kind of busted. Oh! Oh, that was close.
Certified gamer.
Woo, woo! Oh, here we go.
Here.
Okay, well, it's kind of all over the place. So when the CPU's not maxed out, we're getting almost 300 plus FPS.
That's crazy.
Which is pretty crazy. Again, this is a smaller map, but it is a popular mode that people are playing, so that's why we mix things up a little bit. But yeah, there is a difference, and this time we're not GPU bound at this point, which means that our, I would assume 9600X for the most part is being utilized.
Wait, look.
Ah, there it is. Yeah. Well, oh, there goes the GPU.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're getting
strange.
About 120 more FPS, which again, if you're a budget gamer and you're probably rocking some like 1080p high refresh rate monitor, you probably won't notice a major difference in terms of overall performance, but we're talking about price to performance here. We're talking the price of $179 for the cheapest option versus $250 right now. Is that extra, what, $70 worth it?
At this point,
it
I'd
seems
say
like
so.
it is if you are between these two options.
Especially for the extra 2 gigs of VRAM, like, I know you're still gonna get those gamers out there. We get them every morning on stream and other places where it's like 8 gigs isn't enough, which we're getting.
For these games,
we're getting almost 300 FPS in Fortnite. We were getting close to 130 in COD and even more in frame gen.
Yeah. The VRAM thing got incredibly overblown for 1080p games. There are games out there that will break it. I mean, Doom the Dark Ages has some problems, Indiana Jones, but like, I mean, the average gamer is not gonna have that problem. Nope.
And even then, you know, we've said this before, like if you're gonna load up, like Indiana Jones, if you're gonna load that up, you know, you'd have to run medium settings. On a card like this, you don't wanna run high settings with ray tracing anyways. So like, who cares if it has 20 gigs of VRAM on a 5050? Oh, hell yeah.
Oh!
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, wait. Oh, I thought I was gonna. Oh! Oh, I don't like this.
Uh-oh. Ooh, I like these jukes.
Oh, no!
Ooh.
If I hit that headshot, I probably would have got it. I got a dub last time. Didn't get a dub this time, just like Jackson with Warzone, you know? hey, you know, the 5050's worse because I didn't win. Just kidding, that's higher FPS numbers. Interesting to see that in a game like Fortnite, which is much more CPU bound, but there was a difference by like 100 FPS. Let's move on to our favorite character of all time, our best creation here on the Toasted Bros YouTube channel, Bench Marcus. McAllister.
Here comes Bench Marcus.
Well guys, we played a esports game. We played kind of like a AAA esports, and now we're playing a straight up AAA title. I mean, Bethesda, come on. 1080p, we're playing Oblivion Remastered at low settings with no upscaling, and we got 100% render scale.
This is going to be an example of a tough game, which again, most of you who buy this GPU aren't going to try to play this game, but we want to show you a variety of games. And I mean, is it really a Toasted Bros video of Bench Marcus doesn't make an appearance? I mean, come on now. Look at this guy.
Freaking good
Look at
looking.
this guy. Even at like 40 FPS, he just looks great.
Which, you know, one thing I will give it, I wouldn't call this like, I wouldn't play like this, but it is consistent. It's playing it. We're gonna go usual lag spike up here as it loads stuff in. We're using all of the GPU right now.
Every bit of it, and all the VRAM. We're at 5.9, so we're right at 6.
Nothing left. Nothing left for this GPU to give.
Nothing left in the tank. Theoretically, you maybe would get a few more frames if you had more VRAM, because you see these textures are just not, oh, there it goes, are like really slow to load in, but more or less the GPU is just maxed out.
All right, let's fight one of these little goblins, and then we're gonna run the game like how we would run it, because this obviously isn't quite it.
So we can get her to 60.
All right, so we're gonna keep the same, that's not what I want. We're gonna go upscaling, let's go Performance, and this is not gonna have any frame gen, unless we go
do
FSR.
FSR, yep.
We might do a thing where we do both. Let's just see how this does first.
This makes a
this
pretty
is
big
good.
difference. Close to 60.
Doesn't really ruin the quality much either. I mean, we are in performance, so it's gonna nuke it a little bit, but not much.
Bench Marcus, don't do it.
He's too young, he can't do it yet.
No, this ain't bad. If you're on a $175, $179 GPU, be able to play this close to 60 FPS, not too bad.
Yep, and this is, you know, for a lot of people who don't know, like the comparison, this is pretty close to like a 1660 Super, same VRAM, similar in performance, but you do have newer upscaling techniques. You have newer in-bing encoder for like streaming and stuff technically. And on top of that, it's a newer card. It's a new card, you can still buy new. So if you're against buying used, I mean, yes, it does cost 70, 80 bucks more, but it's not a bad card comparatively.
Can the 5050 do dramatically better? What's the price performance like? See what the 5050 can do and see if Bench Marcus looks any better, because I mean, my God.
And he's looking even better now because we're getting double the FPS.
Yes, sir. Last time we were getting about like 30 to 40 FPS, and this is running native with no upscaling on low settings. 50 series cards, they just handle ray tracing better also, regardless of like the GPU horsepower being better. They just handle ray tracing better.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I mean, I say now we're even hitting like, we even hit 80s. I don't know. I don't get you all. I don't know. I just don't get it. I'm like, we haven't had a game that we just like can't play. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. No. Biggest thing is this card. I would say
it is too close to the 50. I get that part, but
yeah.
I guess what I'm saying is that people who are like, it's useless. It's a display out card. I'm just like, no.
Yeah, that's excessive. That's absolutely excessive because you can play anything 1080p still. Could the price be better? Heck yeah. But you can say that about a lot of the generation that is out right now. So,
hello, sir.
hello. Who are you?
And then, boom. Now I'm gonna go hit a Jonah.
Hit a Jonah and then
Hit a John.
try out that DLSS performance. Because what we did last time was performance, and we got up to 50. We didn't even hit 60 with DLSS.
DLSS performance.
And we can turn on frame gen if we want
Turn
to.
on frame gen. Let's do it without first,
Yes.
because we didn't have that before, right?
No, we did not.
We had to go FSR. Okay. We gotta wait for it to settle out. It always goes down a little bit. Hey,
To 100.
all right, smooth. Feels pretty good.
Nvidia, just drop this card to 225, and I will sing it as
yeah.
like the best budget GPU on the market. Like it is, it undercuts the B580. It's again has less VRAM, so again whatever. But at 225, I could care less.
Yeah.
Like for this, like in the Nvidia feature set, it's just.
Ooh, man, imagine if they did that, 225, and then dropped the 3050, like if they still make the 3050 6 because no external power,
Yep.
and then imagine they made that like 130, like 1050 pricing. Oh,
Yeah, it's
so
all about,
good.
again, it's all about pricing with us. If the pricing is right, there's a use case for it. But with frame gen, we're gonna get like 200 FPS. We're getting close,
got
160.
an extra 60 FPS out of that, like 50 to 60. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, this is impressive using the feature set. I mean, you don't even have to run all this stuff if you don't want to. It could run the game fine at 60 FPS, sky test, just killing it. Hey, the gap's looking pretty decent, but let's try another AAA title because we want to see how it does in other games. We got Clair Obscure we'll load into, see what that's like. And then we'll do side-by-side testing, but 50-50, looking so far like the better value when comparing it against the 3056 gig. Let's see if that continues. Okay guys, we are now in Clair Obscure Expedition 33. Somewhere a little bit different. I've actually finished the game and we can run around and show you guys some different spots than what we normally do. We're currently running the low preset, TSR to 100% render scale, no upscaling, which we will mess with here in a minute, and we're on low settings because this is a demanding game and you guys will see in this open world on the continent where you can go around and visit all these different locations, we're only getting about 30 FPS, but I imagine if we get into a fight here, the FPS should go up a decent amount because we are, actually no, it's still running about 30 FPS. So not amazing in a game like this where you're most certainly gonna wanna be worried about getting very fast reaction times with parrying and such. But it's at least playable, so. Yeah, I would say playable is a little debatable. I probably, if I were gonna do this, I would run some upscaling, which I should be able to test here in just a moment.
Boom, boom.
Cool.
Dead.
Dead. Dubs. So yeah, it's about 30 FPS. To keep things consistent, I'll try to stay around this area to walk around, but let's mess with some upscaling here so we can see what we have. Let's go to graphics. We're on low right now. Let's scroll down. Actually, no, let me go back up. Let's run, now let's just swing for the fences. Let's run low TSR, which of course is gonna need a resync. There we go. I think there, oh wait, no, there's DLSS. That's what I should be doing. So let's run performance DLSS. That's actually, let's do that better. So hit apply.
Say 50%.
It's gonna sync up again, I'm sorry.
It's gonna put us down to like 720p.
This is performance, yeah. Performance is normally around 50% if you're wanting to know what that looks like. So performance at 50% on low settings.
Surprisingly, still looks pretty good.
You can make it play. You can make it game, guys. And we're getting, yeah, 60 FPS walking around. I don't know if there's any other people I can fight around here, or I'm gonna have to requeue, but no, I mean, you saw it before, 30 FPS, now getting 60, in a game that I normally wouldn't play on this graphics card. You can at least, oh, here we go. You can try to play it and run 60 FPS. We'll see if with animations, if it'll hold 60 FPS, but yeah, smooth, much smoother than I expected. VRAM-wise, we're below 6, so we're not really maxing out on VRAM. We're actually just running it nice and smooth.
And surprisingly, I don't even feel like it looks like a ton different.
It doesn't
I mean,
look
we're still
horrible.
at 1080p on like a pretty big monitor.
Yeah, it does not look horrible.
But you actually need 12 gigs or more of VRAM to play anything.
You do. You need at least 12 gigs to play games. Guys, it's all about expectations. You know, if you're spending $179 on a graphics card, you should expect performance that is, well, this is what you should be expecting performance-wise. You should not be expecting 5090 level performance. So, hey, you run some DLSS performance, you get 60 FPS. Without it, you're looking at about 30. You guys are back in Clair Obscure with the RTX 5050, and we're running the same settings. We're on low with 100% render scale, currently on, yeah, 1080p. Same vibe as before. And before, referencing notes here for a second, we were getting about like 30 to 40 FPS running around the continent, which is just the big open world area, and now we're getting 60. Few stutters here and there. You can see on our frame time graph we have a few stutters, but we did just drop in and things are loading in. So let's go do a little fight over here and see if we hold the 60 FPS. But again, in this game, realistically, I did a whole playthrough. If you're getting 60 FPS, that's cool. I'm excited to see frame gen on this though, because frame gen actually made my playthrough a lot better on my 4070 Ti at 1440p on higher details. And I had a pretty good time doing so. So we'll see if we hold a decent enough FPS. Just shoot right there and do one of these. Yeah, no, 60 FPS, frame time graphics holding pretty decent. Focusing on the parry. I parried. See, look at that. No problems. This. Few dips, again, slight stutters. That could get kind of annoying. Ow, don't hit me. That's rude. Could get kind of annoying, especially in situations like towards the end of the game where you'd have to do some really strong parries, but 60 FPS, let's go for, we'll do just the DLSS set to performance. That's what we did before, which I imagine is gonna be a pretty big difference. McAllister, I'm gonna have to repause. I mean, we're getting 120 FPS now.
Double.
Let me triple check the frame gen didn't turn on by default, because that's what happened with me. It turned on frame gen, and I was like, wait, what's happening? No, there's not even frame gen on yet. And we're getting double the FPS, 120, which I would probably just run this, but just for the goofiness of it, let's just see what happens.
4X.
4X, let's see what it does. Free Sick McAllister.
And then we'll go down to 3X and then
And then
2X.
I'll go 2X, yeah. I'm just doing 4X for the fun of it. I just want to see what happens. 200 FPS. I will say performance, it does look kind of blurry. I wouldn't run performance mode. But you can get some crazy high FPS numbers in a single player game like this, but this one does require a bit of reaction time, so maybe I just am used to my adjustment playing this game myself, and I was used to like the little latency built in, but I mean, I'm not noticing anything major just playing right now. I can just do that. I mean, the new features, love them or hate them, it gives the 5050 more value, even though it's not an amazing value card compared to other cards. When compared to the 3056 gig, it seems to be the better value so far, but to fully round this out, we'll do some side-by-side benchmarks, see what kind of numbers we come to, and then just give you all a general conclusion about our thoughts about both GPUs. We still think the 3056 gig has a place in the market. You all may not think so, but that's something that's not going to change on this channel. But in terms of value for money, it looks like the 5050 is there, and Nvidia has the ability to make it even better, and we'll talk about that. Okay guys, so we just did some Let's Play benchmarks and the numbers show that the 5050 is the better price to performance option, but let's put a little more detail to that and show you guys some side-by-side benchmarks so you guys at home can compare two games at the same time running the same settings. First up, CS2, 1080p low with the 3056 gig, we got an average of 356.9 FPS with a 1% low of 157.8, and the RTX 5050 got a whopping 539.1 FPS with a 1% low of 178. Now this game is very CPU bound, so I'm quite surprised to see a nearly 200 FPS difference between these two GPUs, but it does go to show, even if you're running lower settings on esports titles, a modern GPU can still help you to some regard, but it all depends on your CPU to get you started. Next up, Cyberpunk, 1080p medium settings with no upscaling. The 3056 gig averaged a 53.54 FPS average, a minimum of 45.75, and a max of 62.27, while the RTX 5050 got an average of 111.17 FPS with a minimum of 94.21 and a max of 131. Here's a scenario where we're getting double the average FPS going from the 3056 gig to the 5050. I think VRAM is definitely a factor here, but also it's just that the 5050 is a much faster card, and compared to the 3056 gig, the price performance difference that you're getting between the two, the 5050 is looking like the best of the worst still so far. Next up, Black Myth Wukong, 1080p low settings. The 3056 gig got an average of 44 FPS, a max of 51, a minimum 36, while the 5050 got an average of 92 and a max of 115 and minimum 39. This is the difference between playable and more than playable on the same exact settings between these two graphics cards. So if you're even considering playing AAA titles, you're going to want to opt for the 5050 instead of the 3056 gig. And lastly, the 3D Mark score for both GPUs. We took the GPU score because the CPU is the same and got a cent per point calculation to overall calculate the value proposition of each graphics card. And with the 3056 gig, we got a GPU score of 4,864, which is a 4 cent per point score based on the $179 price tag, while the RTX 5050 got a score of 10,331, which is based on the $250 price tag and got us a 2 cent per point score. So all in all, the 5050, even though it is the more expensive GPU, yields the better price to performance. Now the 5050 is not a great price performance option, which makes the 3056 gig the worst of the two, but I really do think both of these cards are due for a price slash, which we'll talk about during the outro of this video. But it is interesting to see, is the 5050 nearly as bad as we thought when we compare it to other options on the market, or is the 3056 gig just that bad of a value overall that it's making the 5050 look good? Let's dive into that during the outro.
So the results are in. Both of these cards do play games, but the 5050 does play games quite a bit better. I mean, every test that we did, we were looking at, I would say, 1.5 to double the FPS on native and with FrameGen and DLSS.
Realistically, I think both of these cards need a price slash to have the best price to performance options. With the 5050, if it was at like $225 or even close to $200, really good budget option we'd recommend to budget PC gamers. 3056 gig, as I mentioned, I just learned this in the intro, that it did launch at $179 and has stayed at $179 ever since. It'd be cool to see that card get down even cheaper. If we're getting to the point now where maybe $130, $140, we have a really nice budget GPU that doesn't require any external power, it can be much easier for you guys at home to want to get the 3056 gig. But if we're talking all new parts for both GPUs, we think the best bang for buck, even though you are spending more money, is the RTX 5050. But we're gonna hear from you guys. After you watch the benchmarks in today's video, what do you think about each one of these GPUs, and which one of these are you gonna hate even more after this video?
And interestingly enough, it's crazy that the 5050 at a 2 cent per point on our 3D Mark Time Spy score, it technically ties with a lot of the used GPUs we've looked at, like the the 1070s for under 100 bucks, 1080, you name it, it ties pretty well, so just saying, it might not be that bad for the price. So as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/toastybros, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
So now PCBros.tech, we got builds with 3050s and we got builds with 5070s and 9070s. You pick.
Whatever you want, we got a PC for you at PCBros.tech. Use code ToastyBros on checkout. You will save 3% your next purchase. See you guys later. Goodbye.